79 to 83 called Gilligan's Island.
Oh, wow.
This is the Gilligan's Island. 3/4 of the movie was shot here on this location, and the other quarter was shot on Montauk Island off the Hawaiian coast when we were having a storm surge that year in 83. This is the original Gilligan's Island. In the movie credits at the end of the movie, you would notice it says Sandy Key. Sandy Key happens to be the indigenous name, the Bahamian name for this island. But after that film in the series, so we received so much publicity from that particular film, the government renamed this island Gilligan's Island. Let's take a note of observation for a few things. If you notice on the shoreline, you see a lot of rocks and big boulders. Nobody left those there. Those big boulders get washed up there. We had a hurricane in this territory in the Atlantic Ocean called Hurricane Dorian approaching 4 years ago. Look at all the trees. Look up at the top. Those trees, after 3 years, 4 years, are just getting their greenery back. Those leaves for about 2 to 3 years was brown and gold. That was from all of the soil erosion in those trees being inundated with salt and saltwater activity. When I was a young boy on this island stretches all the way out to the end of that big rock. And it was all one land mass at all the same level. Over time, through tide surges and storm surges and pounding, it is projected by 2045, this island would be 3 feet above sea level. In the Caribbean, in the Atlantic Ocean, in the Bahamian Seas, we have rising sea levels like you don't know. In fact, our government has a treaty with the U.S. right now. Some of our natural resources is excavated out of our Bahamian waters to fill in the entire eastern seaboard of America. That's starting all the way from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, West Palm, Boynton Beach, straight up Jupiter, straight up to the Panhandle. And what we have going on the Atlantic Ocean is nature happening to do what it does. It erodes, it erodes, it erodes. From the end of this island, connected to that small rock, connected to the next rock, all of this was one island. This is what is left of the Gilligan's Island. So by 2045, we know a lot of you are millionaires whenever you come back. Take a before, and when you get back, take an after. I can guarantee you the island won't look like this. I remember running along these shorelines when we were small, doing fishing and so on and so forth. And you know what happens? If you push at Mother Nature, it pushes back. From a geographical standpoint, let me explain where we are, coordinates-wise. We are in the Atlantic Ocean, we are in the Caribbean Sea, we are in Bahamian waters, but more specifically, we are in the southeastern corner of the Bermuda Triangle. So, Captain, what does that mean? All that means is that is where we are at the moment. So don't be fooled or don't be afraid of, oh, we're in the triangle. All it simply means, nothing like National Geographic, make it simple like a 3rd grade science project. We are in the area of the triangle where there is the most oceanic and atmospheric pressure and activity happening that also has the element of electromagnetic fields. So whenever there is activity in the triangle, beginning at Bermuda, which is the most northern island in the Caribbean, in the northern Atlantic, working its way southeast to the Bahamas, which is where we are. However, we are only in the central Bahamas. The Bahamas spreads over 1,876 nautical miles, square miles that is. But the Bahamas does not run east and west. The Bahamas runs diagonal, 50 miles off the coast of Miami, an island that we have northwest of here called Bimini, stretching all the way down southeast Bahamas to an island that we have called Inagua. A lot of you use our resources and don't know. Many of you ever use the song, the Boondocks song, the guy with the little yellow umbrella? Well, that's a Bahamian product. And that is refined in Boston and works its way all around the world. So we are in the Caribbean Sea, we are in the Northern Atlantic, we are in Bahamian waters, and we are in the southeastern corner of the Bermuda Triangle, which really means nothing unless there is some electromagnetic field starting to erupt. When we are in the Bahamas and we say we're having bad weather, please know that it is bad weather. Our basic lands, not Rose Island, but all of our standard lands in the highest point at any given time is only about 30 feet above sea level. most of the islands that we have are only about 195 feet, or 4 miles, if you will, in certain cases, wide. More of our islands are longer than wide. For instance, when we're going up here, I'm going to show you Mick Jagger's house, and once we get to the island, we're going to do a little island tour where you'll get an opportunity to see it better from a distance. Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones, he's on a part of Rose Island where he only has 150 feet. On one side is beach, his house, and on the next side is ocean.
Oh.
So these are some of the terrains that we are used to. For example, when we have a hurricane, we are not fortunate like you guys that can drive to the next district or drive to the next province. We got to secure ourselves with where we are, with what we have. We can't be driving inland, going to another state or another district or whatever you guys label it. We have to make do. So within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we are a British Commonwealth country. We received our independence from Great Britain, July 10th, 1973, and we are a sovereign nation. However, our highest force in the land is the Privy Council, which is what's situated in the Bahamas. There's the figurehead here that is responsible for oversight, and we are progressively progressing.